yeah. Dandy buck.
Yep.
Yeah, jump the fence. Ooh, baby, work it.
Given that he's hitting the field in daylight, though, he's probably better fairly close. All right, we better move on, cover more ground.
See you later, big guy. Love you.
Oh, there he is. Oh, give me the camera.
Oh yeah, jeez, bunch of them. Jeez, there's 2 3-shooters in there.
That back one was hard horn.
Most of them were, I think. They came off public. All of them did.
Mm-hmm.
They went back into public too. I'd say they're around. You
Maybe
still
that
see them,
was
Greg?
sparring.
Oh really? There's another one that looked just like that one with them,
Yeah,
maybe
there's
bigger.
the two standing together. Am I missing another one?
No, there's like 3 4 bucks that already ran back in.
Mine does.
Well, that was a productive evening of scouting right there. That was awesome. Saw several really nice bucks on the public land or real close to the public land. So anyways, we're excited to be here in Nebraska. This will be the 3rd year in a row now that we've hunted western Nebraska. 2017, the first hunts that we ever filmed for THP, it was Zach, Jake, and Brody. Zach shot a real nice 8-pointer after like 9 or 10 days of hunting. And then we followed it up in 2018 and Zach had another real exciting hunt, crazy spot and stock hunt. So anyways, we have a pretty good track record here in western Nebraska. On this hunt, we're going to focus probably on slightly different public lands, different habitat types. And what I want to get into more this year is the hill country, the canyon country, some oak, creek bottoms, and some marshy, mixed marshy bottoms as well. So our strategy going into this hunt, and we've already kind of kicked that off already this evening, is locating deer in as many points as possible, getting as many pins on the map as possible, and start drilling down on those areas where we found bucks. And actually about a month ago now, maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, I came out here for a couple of days just to do some quick scouting and found a couple spots where there was a number of bucks bedding. But anyways, that intel from this summer definitely helps as well, in addition to what we found tonight. Grant is going to get a tag tomorrow, so that way we'll have 2 guys in camp that have tags, which is good because I know after a couple days here, I'm probably going to have more editing work to do, and at least that way we have 1 person in the field hunting every day. So, time to get the gear organized, get off to bed, get a few hours of sleep, and we will see you in the morning.
There's a mule deer out there behind that bale. Small muley buck, I believe. Well, it's our first morning here in Nebraska, but this morning we decided to get up high on this canyon rim. So we've got a good observation point here to where we can see out to the fields, also down into the canyon. And so far this morning we've seen 3 or 4 muleys and a couple whitetails, nothing real close, everything kind of in the distance. But in this part of western Nebraska, there's a pretty good mix of whitetails and mule deer. The tag is good for either species, so I would be more than happy if I got a crack at a mule deer buck. So we're going to keep glassing this morning here. I can see deer still up on their feet in the distance. Doesn't appear to be much hunting pressure in this area. It's a weekend day, it's a Sunday. You know, last night the deer were out on public, out in the fields during daylight. Feeling good about it, just got to put the pieces together and hopefully get a shot at one. I'm sure that's the same buck. That is, yeah, that's on public. Jake just spotted a muley buck about 150 yards away, working away from us. I'm pretty sure that's the same one that we saw first thing this morning. I'll just see if I can get over there and lay eyes on him. I'm just gonna leave this stuff here.
You lying? goes straight this way. The buck is maybe 20 yards on that side of it, so we're just gonna use the little room that we have to work with and try to get that on the downwind side of him so he can't smell it.
That's been browse. I'm guessing he's still down in this draw somewhere. Yes, he cut south. Oh, there's a deer.
What's that?
There's a whole bunch of muleys at the head of this draw. There's 3 muleys just down from the head of the draw. Might be a buck in there. There's a significantly bigger bodied deer behind those. It's either a big pot-bellied doe or a buck. Oh yeah, big buck. Yep.
Is he right in him or down?
He's in the back. I mean, not a giant, but definitely a nice one. You see him?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. That's cool.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
Yeah. Make sure we got. Yeah, that's the fence there. We got this little knob right here. Like if they started coming this way, we might be able to slide down. Don't do that. That little muley buck led us to a draw full of mule deer and whitetails. I think there was 10 deer in here, including one nicer mule deer buck. There's a knob right here that I had for cover, so I was going to work my way to that knob and then continue to slide my way down, because as they get to the bottom here, there's the fence, the property boundary. But apparently there was a whitetail doe and a couple fawns, and Jake said a spike buck that were up higher. Yeah, regardless of what deer picked us off, there was just too many sets of eyes in here, unfortunately. But it was exciting for a while. Just kind of out of the way corner of this public land. These draws, I mean, there's all kinds of browse in here. These deer were just working their way down, feeding. We got some breezy days coming up later this week. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if those mule deer came back in here. I don't think they knew what was going on. It was just that one of those whitetails that spooked. And that buck, the biggest buck, actually went back to feeding. Thought maybe they were going to settle back down and maybe work their way back down in, but there's just too many deer, and one gets nervous and takes off, the rest go with them. Either pine siskins or, I think they're pine siskins. Cool stuff, man. I love this country, and I love the diversity of the landscape, the ruggedness, and just the vast amount of opportunities. You could be hunting whitetails on a pattern, from a saddle or a tree stand, working that kind of angle. or you could be out here spotting stock and mule deer in these little coulees and draws, and whitetails too. Just found one of those spots where there was too many deer at the same time and just got picked off. It was a fun start, first morning.
But I mean, we're laying flat on the ground right now. Like I said, we've heard bullets buzzing very close to us. Yeah.
Guys, here's the situation. We're split up, we didn't know it, but there must be a shooting range over here. And I don't know if these guys are just not shooting into the range like they're supposed to be, or what the deal is, but regardless if they are, their bullets are ricocheting all throughout the canyon. Grant and I had a couple of them go over our head, and Jake and Greg are just downrange of these guys. So Grant's kind of up above me a little bit, running at him to tell him to knock it off. We'll see what we can get.
That first one just scared me because I wasn't expecting it. The second one scared me because it did zing a little bit. That'll wake you up.
Jake and I just came off of that ridge right there. We got a little more excitement than we bargained for.
A lot more exciting than the buck encounter.
Yeah, I forgot all about the fact that we got, close to some deer and we're about to stalk a buck. So we were up on top there working our way back down.
It's not marked on the map or anything. We
didn't know it was here. We heard bullets buzzing close by us. I mean, I guess I don't know how close, but
it's hard to say, but like you could hear in the one, like there was a couple shots that were a lot closer than the one I got on video.
Yeah. I mean, dangerously close. I mean, thank God we didn't get hit.
Yeah, but there's maybe 10, 15 more of them just like the one I got on video.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them zinging by up there. So
yeah, I don't know what, I mean, for a second it almost felt like they were purposely shooting at us because they were so close.
Yeah.
I mean, there must be something about the gun range that the bullets aren't getting trapped because they were zinging right up that hill, right on over.
Yeah, and the public land is straight behind the gun range. I mean, that's the next property back is where the public land is, where people are hiking around and hunting and stuff. So.
Yeah, yep. Well, we're gonna have to follow up with the sheriff's office or whoever manages the shooting range and let them know that the way it's set up right now is clearly not safe for anybody that's hunting or hiking or working or doing anything up on top of the hill, because we had bullets buzzing right by us.
I ran up here and I was like, hey! He's all rattled. Ended up being a nice guy.
Yeah. And that's the problem though with the gun range.
Yeah.
They're not shooting into the bank. Yeah, you can just see how the bullets would skip right up that hill. I mean, that's where we were at, right up there.
Yeah, way above it. Yeah, so just basically the way the gun range is built, they need to figure that out, get some mounds behind these closer targets or something. But
we heard him whizzing over our heads and cracking rocks, and real nice guy. He's just starting to hunt I think he said he's been hunting for 2 years now.
And he just stumbled across our channel a couple days ago.
Yeah, a couple days ago even.
Jake and I were hunkered down though.
laying flat on our stomachs.
Flat. Yeah, I mean
there's probably 10 shots, 12 shots that were like zing. All right, we just dropped Greg and Dylan off about 45 minutes ago, and we're just gonna run up here. There's 2 smaller parcels that kind of butt up to the public land where we saw those bucks come out last night, so we figured we'd just run up here quick and just try to ask permission to access the public through their property, just because it is like a 2-mile walk and we have to walk through a bunch of deer in order to get there. So if we could get permission from these guys to access through their property, it'll just spook way less deer and it'll be a lot easier for us. So just gonna go try that quick, and if they say no, we're just gonna circle back around and make the walk in.
Put that release on the ivy. That ain't nothing compared to my leg. All right, guys, it's the first night in Nebraska, and surprisingly enough, we were able to secure permission to access from this guy's private on a little public piece back here that we saw a bunch of bucks on last night. When we rolled up there, we thought there's no way this guy's gonna let us cross. He had a bunch of dead heads in his front yard.
Shed antlers laying around.
He had shed antlers laying around. He had a camo UTV. They're like, all right, this guy's a hunter. Do we even ask him if we can cut through? Sure enough, he was a nice guy. He said, yeah, go ahead, pull up and go hunt it, because it's public land. So yeah, we got lucky on that one, pretty big time, especially for the first night. I mean, we just got here last night, did a little bit of scouting yesterday evening, got up this morning and glassed, and this is my first hunt personally. So yeah, I'm really excited. Got a good wind, good conditions. We'll see what happens.
Night beds.
I remember them going over a rise,
Yeah.
and there were several bucks, and two of them hung out, I think just over this, and they sparred a little bit right there.
It might have been somewhere right here, actually, like right here.
And this is fairly well worn, and there's this low spot in the fence.
Yep.
Well, we just got set up for the evening sit. Jake's up in a stand above me, and I'm set up in the saddle. We're sitting over a trail that we think goes to the field that we saw those bucks in last night. The hope is that they'll walk right down through here in front of us and can give us a really close shot. When we were driving around last night, we spooked about 5 or 6 bucks back into here. They ran into this exact point. So we're assuming this is where they came out from. There's a real well-worn trail in front of us at about 7 yards. So ideally, one of those bucks from last night will walk that out into the food source, and I'll be able to shoot them right there. Apparently, they haven't been pressured much because they were out in daylight, and there's a house probably 400 yards away with kids outside making noise right now that you might hear. So this landowner over here was gracious enough to let us cut through his land and get on the public. So thanks to him. And we'll see what happens tonight. Hopefully those bucks will come out.
Imagine they're all gonna go over there, huh?
Yeah.
Think we should get down or not? I guess we could just let them walk out tonight and maybe try to make a move tomorrow.
That's kind of what I'm wondering.
Could set the car alarm off when we walk out. Maybe they'll run off.
Looking right at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, not spooked though. Right, you're good. Just here's that guy. I think we're just gonna go ahead and get down. We've got a little buck out here in the field already. We just spooked that doe. We don't want to ruin this spot for the week, so we're gonna try to get down while we can and not spook any other deer that come out. I think if we get out now real quietly, then it can still be good tomorrow night and some future nights.
Well, just as we were getting to thinking that the night was completely over, we were packing up our stuff and getting ready to get down, and Jake goes, big buck, big buck. A nice one was walking by at, 40 or 35 yards probably.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have shot that far anyway, and it was a little bit dark. But several nice bucks came out in that corner of the field. I think there were probably 3 or 4 bucks I would have shot in that field tonight. And probably 6 or 7 bucks total. Eventually we just had to coyote howl to try to get him out of there without spooking him too bad. They all ran off at once, so I think it probably worked. I'd say they'll be out, if not tomorrow night, then later this week, and hopefully we can get back on them. I think there's a real good chance that we end up killing a buck here. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. Get after it in the morning and then try to make a plan on these guys again. So. Yeah, same.